At 80 years old, Harold Whittaker had made peace with the idea of dying alone. No wife, no children, no close friends left. The world he once knew had long faded, replaced by hospital rooms, silence, and the soft hum of a TV playing reruns in the background. Diagnosed with a terminal heart condition, Harold had only months, perhaps weeks, left. But life, even at the edge of death, can still hold surprises. One morning, a thick envelope arrived at his nursing home. It was from a law firm. At first, Harold assumed it was a mistake, but as he opened it with shaking hands, he read the words that would change everything. You are the sole legal heir to the original patent of Sparkle Frost Cola, currently valued at over $1 billion. For a moment, Harold thought it was a prank, but it wasn't. Turns out, when Harold was a 24-year-old chemist, he had worked in a small lab and created a formula for a fizzy drink. He was young, broke, and sold the rights for next to nothing. Years passed. The drink became a global phenomenon, and corporate mergers blurred ownership. But due to a rare legal loophole and the recent death of the last co-owner, Harold E.'s original claim was being honored. He was a billionaire, but he was also dying. Harold had no family, no spouse, no children, and with limited mobility, he couldn't travel or celebrate. So he began a desperate search for a worthy heir. He made calls to distant cousins, none of whom remembered him. He sent letters to old classmates. Most had passed. He searched the internet for anyone who might have once been close. The answer was always the same. Nothing. No connections. No legacy. Just money and time ticking away. In those days of silence and searching, one person was always there. Her name was Lorraine. She was 65 years old, a Jamaican immigrant, his caregiver for the past 6 years. She wasn't just a nurse. She was sunshine on his darkest days. She hummed old reggae tunes while changing his bandages. She told stories of her youth, of how she came to America with nothing but hope in her pockets, of how she worked 12-hour shifts as a cleaner just to send her daughters to school, how she was cheated out of wages, denied papers and slept in shelters, but never gave up, not once. Lorraine was kind but strong. She refused charity. She brought him tea when he cried and made him laugh with her sharp wit. She read to him every evening, even when he dozed off. She treated Harold not like a patient, but like a person, like a friend. One afternoon, as Harold watched her gently fold his blankets, he felt it. Gratitude. Not just for her help, but for her soul. That night, he made the decision. He called his lawyer and rewrote the will, every cent, every asset, every piece of the billion-dollar inheritance to Lorraine Thompson. His lawyer asked if he was sure. Harold replied, "She gave me dignity when I had nothing. She's the only one who stayed. She deserves a future." He told no one. Days later, his condition worsened. He slipped into a coma. Lorraine held his hand every day, whispering prayers, unaware of what he had done. Harold passed peacefully one quiet morning, and then everything changed. The day Lorraine received the call, she thought it was a mistake. When the lawyer read the will aloud, she dropped the phone. $1 billion for her. Tears ran down her face, not because of the money, but because someone saw her, truly saw her. Her sacrifices, her humanity. With the inheritance, Lorraine didn't buy a mansion or a yacht. She built a free healthcare center in Harold's name for elderly patients without family. She opened a shelter for immigrant women escaping abuse. She funded scholarships for Jamaican youth with dreams too big for their villages. And she finally bought a small, cozy home for herself, her first. People called her lucky. But it wasn't luck, it was character. This is Lorraine's story, and Harold's. A story about how a man with nothing but days left chose to leave behind not just wealth, but meaning. Because in the end, what we leave behind isn't a team measured in dollars, but in the lives we choose to uplift before we go. If this story moved you, If you believe in unexpected second chances, like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this one. And remember, it's never too late to be someone's miracle.